Hello everyone, this time from capital of Lithuania, Vilnius, where I'm going to do time trial attack of solo post-COVID inspired race Blokada. I will cover everything in this video which you have to know, but here I'm already at the attack mode and I'm approaching the first segment of the race. Basically how everything works is that the course is prepared in a way where you have to do the segment on Strava. At the same time, there are small chunks of segments separated for the whole course, so you can compare yourself either by segments to everyone else or by the whole course track time. At the top you can see a progress bar of the whole attack, as well as at the bottom of that top bar there is an indication of the segment. And we can also add that on the right there is a map where you will be able to see the segment and the course as well. And last but not least, during the segment attack time you will have full leaderboard as well as a short small leaderboard on the side. So that is the technical information, and we are approaching yet another segment here, and you can see that when the course is in the city it's always tricky to make sure that you don't hit any passengers on the walks, nor you are not hit by the car. So it's kind of few fundamental things when you are doing these type of fast speed driving in the city center. To add two things about the course itself, keep in mind that everything here, what you're going to see, is happening in probably 7 kilometers radius around the Vilnius. So through that sense, our capital is amazing when it comes to MTB. A lot of people go with gravel bikes on these courses as well. The whole idea of this racing in time trial, you can go with any bike, whether it's road, if you are accustomed to go on those routes with a road bike, or the gravel, or the MTB, or the city bike, whatever you want to choose. So it's great, but just to add yet another benefit for Vilnius is that it's amazing when it comes to MTB. That's my opinion, that's also what everyone else is saying who are living there or at least had a chance to visit it. Also keep in mind that Garmin experiments happening most of the events around the Vilnius or in the Vilnius itself. So again, Vilnius is amazing. Currently I'm not living in Vilnius, so I had only a single shot to give attempt on this course, simply because I was ill for the last few weeks and there was no chance to approach these courses. To add more about the Blokada in general, it's event which gave his body during the COVID times when everything was locked out. Gedrichenko's with his fellows decided to create this type of racing where you go individual timing, make sure to go the segment as fast as you can, and that's the way how it was born. The first 2 kilometers here for me was really intense. As you can see, I averaged 402 watts during these first 11 minutes. So I was pushing really hard and maybe even a bit too much. Keep in mind that during this day I did one lap of just easy effort to make sure that I don't miss any corners, and in general I would know what to expect. Yes, it wasn't a fast effort, I made it in 1 hour and a half or so, but it was still a bit of demanding. So during this attack mode, the first 20 minutes or so was great, then the power started to disappear a bit. The whole idea was just to give it all I got, and that's kind of it, because well, when you are going it for like second time, you can't really compete with guys who live here and they have lots of chances to go even then it's proper wind. So basically during the course of 1 month you receive 2 tracks. You have 2 weeks per each to do your best segment time. It's up to you, you can do it every day and maybe you will improve, but basically that's very nice concept, great organization. And there's even the lottery where you can win great prizes even though you were the last. So it's not about the first places, but of course everyone wants to be as fast as they can. but at the same time you can be the last and you can wheel carbon rims. Well, not that bad, huh? The only problem is that if you have city bike, probably carbon wheels won't help you, but well, if you win carbon wheels, it can be the first step towards more serious cycling. Anyways, it's very important to thank the drivers who allows you to go in front, so I always do that, and then make sure to not be too slow in front. Those who live in Vilnius had a lot of chances to go on this course, so that way they can even choose the better wind, which was not the case in this time when I was attacking. And excuses, headwind doesn't help at all on those 2 kilometers or so straight. Also, I'm doing this on mountain bike, quite a few registered with gravels, but once they went for the few rides, they probably understood that with gravel you might be fast on the flats, but in the forest you can be fast, but at the same time it's not as pleasing as it can be with mountain bike. So officially I probably was 4th with mountain bike in the general classification, but if I'm not mistaken, few guys did it on mountain bike as well, but they are classified as on the gravel. There was a bridge on the ditch, and my plan was to go on the bike and climb it, but out of excitement I forgot to change the gear and I had to run it. So whenever segment ends, you can see the table with the leaderboard. The funny thing is that actually from Blokadas I started doing these segment things on the onboards, because I think that it adds value to the onboard itself and it's more interesting to compare, see all those watts averages, heart rates, comparing to others. Talk about the power and the BPM, there was very sandy section in the middle of the course, and when I say sandy, I literally mean it. On the recon of the course, I kind of went in a different ways on these sand sections, but when you reach them on 180 BPM, you just go where you can see the tracks by others, and it not always works in the best possible way. This guy was really fast and it was like bumping on the road, so yeah, he was rushing somewhere. More or less I lost 30 to 60 seconds on every segment from the segment leader, and it was kind of expected because first few guys did it on gravel bikes. Again, I can't say enough how beautiful and nice those single tracks are in the forest. Even though in the past I hated routes very much, now they are not causing that much problem for me. And also in the past I was on the hardtail. Now on the full suspension bike it's like a different story. Even though I added a bit more air to the tires in order to be faster on the flats, it was still not that bad, and it was a really great experience in general. From time to time I do these type of videos about the racing on MTB as well. Actually, it's all the time. So if you are interested, you can watch those in my channel. On the left you can see the table where are times for everyone who finished this full segment. So will I be able to fit under 1 hour? We'll see. It's 6 kilometers left and I have 12 minutes to do that. You can spot the time and the distance on the top bar. Towards the end my power dropped a bit, and you can see that now it's no longer 400 watts, it's 350. If you wonder how I was that fast, well, recently I installed ceramic speed bearings into the headset. maybe that's the reason. However, I have to disappoint you because those bearings are not ceramic. So no, they didn't give me any power output on this attack. Unfortunately, I was not able to do the first track of Blokada, which was Blockade Bank. This one is BlokadGPT. I'm not exactly sure, but probably this is 6th or 7th time when Velo Peak Boilers and Gedrushenko's organized this event. On the recon, I checked how to cross the streets which are not the main streets. That's why I crossed those streets on the paved road through the left, simply because it had more viewpoint. I was not able to fit under 1 hour, but it would have been major achievement for me. Well, from the first go it was a really tough one, and on full suspension bike I was really happy with the result. No excuses for me, it was all perfect, and maybe because I missed few blokadas last year and this year as well, it was very refreshing and it felt like one of the best courses with a good percentage of single tracks and movement in the forest. So thanks a lot for Velo Peak Boilers, Gedrushenko's, and everyone who was involved in creating this yet another amazing experience. With that said, thanks for the time, and I hope to see you around.